And we are back, man. What's up, B Rich? What's up, my brother?
Hey, man, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Last night, a lot of times, man, we don't go into some of the sports things that happen right away, but, man, we had a real big win for them Atlanta Falcons.
Hey, man, like I said, why not?
Hey,
why
man,
not us?
Why not us? Why not us? That is just like, oh, hey, man, you hear that voice in the background?
Hey, what? I just hear a voice. Who is that?
You hear that voice in the background? Man, look, for all y'all, like, we just gonna get straight into it, right?
Let's do it.
We're gonna get, for all y'all out there who wondering who that voice is, and for all y'all who I'm sure picked up on the voice immediately, man, we have Atlanta royalty right here, man. And look, and I can tell by as many times I've been watching his shows and I've been enjoying the content and supporting. I know he's a humble gentleman, so he gonna say, "Oh man, nah, man." But you know what, man? Accept it, my guy. Accept it, my guy. We are in the season of accepting any and all titles and blessings that come our way.
Yeah, I'm for that.
All right, man. Hey, so look, like I was saying, we got A-Town royalty. We got one of Atlanta's own. I'm talking about killing the podcast game, killing the music game, killing the content game, killing the real shit for your eardrums game, all right? I'm talking about telling it like it is. If y'all don't know who it is, let me lay it out for you plain and simple. We have none other than B-High ATL. I call him B-High, but y'all can put the ATL if they help you know who he is. B-High, what's up, my brother?
Man, I'm excited to be in here, man. I've been seeing y'all going viral on YouTube and Instagram every 5 minutes doing y'all thing out here, so I had to pull up.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
You know, you remind me of, man.
Who?
Is C-Bone your brother?
Man, what up, no ball? I've been getting that the whole time. I've been getting that.
Man.
Nah, that's twin right there, man.
Y'all twins for real.
C-Bone, that's family.
You get that for real? People say that to you for real?
I get that a lot.
Man,
like y'all twins.
Hey, man, it's all good. C-Bone.
Shout out to C-Bone, man.
What up, no ball?
Yeah, man. Shout out to C-Bone. Well, look, man, it's good to have you here, B-High. Like I was telling you, I reached out to a friend of mine. Shout out to you, Big Jimmy.
What up,
and I said, hey,
Jimmy.
I said, I'm trying to get in touch with B-High.
Yeah.
I said, man, B-High interviews everybody up under the sun.
Thanks.
Everybody. And I said, I think it's time for him to come from his side of the mic where he interviewing.
Yeah.
And come over here with us to the other side of the mic where he can be the interviewee, if that's a word. I don't know if that's a word or not.
That's correct.
Knowing you translated, man.
Hey, well, if it's not, we're going to make it one.
Me, but I make up words.
It's all good.
I heard me the other day talking about some cow. Oh,
yeah. You meant to say cow. You said cow.
I was like,
cow
damn.
college.
Cow's trying to say cow. I was in cow. Like, what the hell?
Hey, man, it's all good, man. Normally you'll say, man, well, we from Atlanta. Normally you'll put it on Atlanta.
Yeah.
But
I just fucked up.
There you go. That's the first step to improvement, my brother.
Cow.
You know what I'm saying?
Cow.
Yeah.
Man, so B-High, what's going on with you these days?
Man, nothing much, man. Just working on the network now. We got a few shows that we've been launching. Turk and his wife, Make Love, Make Money. They got a podcast together where they talk about their relationship, their family, the ups and downs. They done had content. The Wicked Truth, he got his own show that we launching as well. He's doing his thing. And I'm about to put together a few other shows on top of that, man. But for the most part, just keeping the party going and staying down with the movement and just trying to keep the stories that haven't been told and telling more stories, some of the revising stories, correcting stories, and then also interjecting opinion and commentary to the culture at the same time too, man.
Yeah, I love the fact that you have some new shows coming out. Like I saw you had the one with Turk and his wife.
Yeah.
I saw the Wicked Truth. I saw you announce them.
Yeah.
And then I think Wicked dropped an episode, right?
Yeah.
And Turk and his wife already dropped the episode, right? Man, I love the relationship that you seem to have built with them.
Thank you.
I mean, so was this part of your plan from the very beginning of starting this?
Yeah, no, I reverse engineered the whole thing, man. I kind of seen where it was going to go, and I kind of worked to get there. So I just started with myself, and I said, okay, if I could build a platform, once I build a platform, then I can launch the other shows off the platform and keep it moving and stuff like that. But, all of them are podcast partners as well, so they helped me, grow my platform from where it was at too as well.
Smart.
I talk with them on a regular basis, weekly on my show, just so they can get their points across and introduce them to the audience, but then also allow them to be able to kick their flavor, man, because, they got a lot of talent, they got a lot of gift. Both of them got the gift of gab.
And strong opinions.
Exactly, and strong opinions too, man. And the people love it. You see what I'm saying? They make the people talk, they make them react, and that's the main thing behind it all. But for me, I really just wanted to create a platform for Atlanta so folks could always have a place to go and talk. It began as kind of like a public access situation because I was working at the radio station and I was noticing that everybody wasn't allowed to hit the radio. And I was like, you know what, that ain't fair. You know, we in the middle of Atlanta, so many great stories that need to be told. And I just kind of took it upon myself to start telling those stories, but then also opening up the doors for new artists coming up through there too, so that they could get their first taste of radio and just getting that platform and being able to share their talent with the world. And I mean, it just grew from there.
Man.
I want to ask a question. So in today's Atlanta, man, I've been hearing this term all the time, man. I want you to break it down. New Atlanta versus old Atlanta. What is that, man? And explain to me what's new Atlanta, what's old Atlanta, because I'm Atlanta, so what's the difference?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think the old Atlanta is just minus the Hollywood. The new Atlanta includes the Hollywood flavor. You know, the old Atlanta, it really wasn't Hollywood. It was just a bunch of folks in Atlanta making it do what it was supposed to do. The new Atlanta, it has more of a Hollywood flair feel to it, to where they might not accept everybody from the old Atlanta. See, the old Atlanta accepted everybody in Atlanta, and that's what made Atlanta Atlanta.
Fact.
But the new Atlanta don't accept everybody in Atlanta. You got to be this or that to be recognized as an ATLian. And first, we were all ATLians, but now, you know, hell, I done had folks walk up to me and look me dead in my face and say, you from the east side. Now, I done went to Kai Heights Elementary, Gene Young Middle School, and Mays High. How the hell you get that? But that's from people that are in Atlanta that ain't from Atlanta, that don't know no better. So they still repping Atlanta, and they kind of help make up that new Atlanta.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Man, you went to Collier Heights, man. Hey,
Yeah.
to my wife, I know she loved to hear that. She went she went to Collier Heights back in the day.
Yeah.
She went to Collier, so I'm just she went like Collier Heights, I told you, West Side. She always throwing West Side up on East Side, Gresham Road.
Yeah,
it's
you got
all
a
good.
real one.
Yeah,
You got a real one.
I'm still standing up for mine.
Yeah,
Gresham
ain't
Road,
bad,
East Side.
Southwest Atlanta, SWATs.
Come on, man, all of that.
Yeah, but I mean, you broke down perfectly to me old Atlanta
Yeah.
versus new Atlanta. Like old Atlanta, everybody was just dope. Everybody was just doing their own
Exactly.
thing. Everybody didn't need anybody's validation to be put on. Everybody was just, hey, look, I do me.
Exactly.
I'm dope. You
Come
make
on.
your own movement. Now, in certain circles, you do have to have a certain something to be considered a mover or a shaker here. And I never looked at it from that standpoint. So I could
it's just
see it
the
being
Hollywood, you know, in there, man. I mean, it used to be, it was all good in the hood until it turned Hollywood, and that's kind of like the best way.
Speaking on that, like, you know, old Atlanta, like when it was going on and you would see something like an Outcast on the MTV Awards or they playing Witch Doctor going into commercial, you hear it.
on,
Like, he
man.
was just proud.
Exactly.
It seemed like the new Atlanta, like we don't want to acknowledge the success of other Atlantans. Is that the case?
Now, I can see that being the case too, because a lot of the new Atlanta might just be focused on themselves. So it's like a cultural situation. You know, the old Atlanta, we appreciated everybody.
Skate, TLC,
TLC, I
Crisscross.
mean,
It's like, oh, that's Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
like,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't see that same appreciation going on like it used to be,
Yeah.
man. I mean, we got to do better just about showing each other love and appreciating each other like we need to do. And that was one of the main reasons behind the driving force for my platform beginning with, because it was like I knew that these stores were going to go to hell, man.
All right.
We had the internet come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So all of these old stories from the 90s and everything hadn't even transferred to the internet.
Yeah.
All of the music hadn't transferred to the internet. It's a lot
Yeah.
of stories and a lot of information that's still pre-internet that didn't make it. So
Yeah.
I was kind of taking it upon myself
yeah.
to make sure that I was able to upload a lot of them stories.
Miami
and that.
Boys,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Everybody, man. And
Yeah.
that was my main thing. And then also to give folks a platform and a space in this internet world so that people would know who their favorite artists were.
Yeah.
Some of these kids, they might know the music, but they didn't know the artist. So it was like, let me connect the artist to the music as well, so that when the kids is listening to it, they be like, oh, okay, well, I know that artist right there. He was just on Beehive Show. He sang that song. I love that song right there, man. Okay, I get to know him and all that extra stuff.
All right, so now we want to take you out your world, take it in our world. Me and Trey, we come from the music industry.
Yeah.
We talk sports.
That's right.
our thing. So you Atlanta Falcon fan?
Of course.
All right, I want you to give us your Mount Rushmore of Atlanta players, of all Atlanta Falcons players. Who are your 4 players that you would put on your Mount Rushmore? And it don't matter how far you go back or how new it is.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go all the way back with Billy White Shoes, okay?
Billy White Shoes Johnson.
Yeah, Billy
and
White
what you like about him?
Well, he autographed the football card that me and my brother had back in the day when we was young as hell, man. So that always kind of, holds a special part in my heart. You got to go Neon Dion.
Okay, he hate to be called that too. That's so funny.
He don't like to be called Neon Dion.
Man, he always said that. Man, what up, Neon Dion? There you go.
Man, come on, man. Prime time. Okay,
there you go.
Andre Rison.
Really?
Man. Yeah,
okay.
Rison, man.
No, I like Rison. I'm surprised you said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bad Moon Rison. And let me see. And I always was a fan of Jesse Tucker.
I knew you was gonna say Tuggle.
How did you know I was gonna say Tuggle?
I said because you old school.
Yeah.
You old school Atlanta, man.
Yeah.
And Tuggle was the face of the franchise and was there for a long time, man.
Come on,
Much respect to the Hammer, Jesse Tuggle, man.
He was the real deal out there.
Yeah.
But that was my fault, right?
Hey, but it's cool because you didn't go with what the flashy list might be.
He went with the real Atlanta list.
Yeah.
That's some real Atlanta shit right there. Jesse Tuggle, ain't nobody gonna say that.
Exactly.
That's not from Atlanta.
Come on, man. You got to see Jesse Tuggle put in that work.
I wouldn't put him on mine, but I think that's a dope list.
Yeah.
So you're a Braves fan?
Of course.
So like, what's your best Braves?
Questioning my
What's your best Braves memory, man?
It's only one Braves memory.
I want to see if it's the same one as
Breen coming around third base, man. Braves win.
Hey, man,
That's the only memory that counts.
That was epic, bro.
Exactly.
And I was so that wasn't a World Series win.
Yeah.
But it felt
like one.
It felt like
Come
one.
on.
And we did a clip on this a while ago, and when he came in, man, and it slid. That was the first time that we've experienced as Atlantans a victory to the World Series.
Come on now.
Oh my God! It felt like we won the World Series.
Exactly.
We didn't win that year.
Come on.
But it felt like we won, man.
Yeah.
Man, was Sid Bream the first year or the second year? I thought that was the second.
Nah, that was his first year, man. Sid Bream came in the middle of a trade. He came.
No, I'm saying I thought that was the second World Series that the Braves made it to. I think.
You know what,
I
y'all?
thought the Braves went to the World Series the year before.
I promise
Sid
y'all that I
Bream.
would not say something that I don't know. We will get back to you on that. Matter of fact, Mr. Producer, can you chat GPT if the Sid Bream slide was our first World Series that we went to, and we would have that answer for you. You know,
Boy,
this
I'm
Mr.
telling you,
Encyclopedia, man.
I mean, hey, Beehive is Atlanta.
All right, now, so now we can talk about the Braves, the Hawks.
Come on now.
Who is your all-time favorite Hawk?
You know that's Dominique.
It gotta be Dominique.
Dominique
gotta be Dominique.
Come on, man.
It has to be
I'm a
Dominique.
highlight film.
So
man.
who won the 1988 dunk contest between Jordan and Nick in Chicago?
Man, see, nah,
What do you remember about that?
I was 5 years old in '88, but I remember my uncle still being pissed about that in '98. Okay, he was still pissed about that. He was like, "No, Dominique won that dunk contest, and
Because he did.
He
They
did,
gave it
bro.
to Jordan.
Because he did.
Hey,
Yeah.
He did.
Did you know that Jordan did the same dunk twice in it and got 50s on both dunks?
Jordan jumped from the free throw line twice in the same dunk contest, and they gave this man a 50.
See
Both
that?
times.
See that? I mean, sometimes, but that's that Atlanta stuff. Sometimes we get cheated out here.
But
guys.
look, in all fairness,
Come on.
it like Dominique got cheated, but we have to be real about the situation. Be rich. Will you plead Beehive? He might know. Will you tell Beehive where that dunk contest was held?
In Chicago.
Chicago.
So we already know it wasn't gonna be fair.
Yeah.
We already know it wasn't gonna be fair.
But see, my
Like,
real
we
question,
already know it wasn't gonna be
my
fair.
real question is, why wasn't Dominique on the Dream Team? See, that's the issue that I always.
Dominique definitely should have been
Why
on the
was he
Dream
not
Team.
on the Dream Team?
So that was a lot to say because they put Scottie Pippen over him and some other people, which at that time, Scottie Pippen was nowhere near holding a counter to Nick as far as stats.
But Jordan going, I guess they had to take his running mate.
They managed to put Christian Laettner on there,
man, I don't know, for some reason,
and he was in college.
bro, for some reason, man, when it
Facts.
comes to Atlanta players, from Trae Young to Dominique Wilkins to to other people, only person that wasn't like that was Vic. Vic was like, they gave him his due.
Yeah.
But as far
Dion
as-
and Dion.
Dion,
You had to give him.
Yeah, Dion as well.
Yeah.
But for some reason with the basketball, man, like Trae Young don't get his just due. He gets left off of things, and Dominique did as well, man.
I think it has more to do with if you come from an organization that is tied to a perspective of losing.
Yeah.
The players don't get the respect. How many players from Cleveland have we got a lot of respect before LeBron? I'm just talking about we just break down Cleveland.
I seen
for a
Brad
year.
Doherty, Craig
Not-
Elo.
But I'm talking about being
No, I know. I'm just
being
thinking.
Harold. players
And
and held up like that. When
Dominique wasn't really losing like that. He had to play against Chicago
and Boston,
Boston and New York.
Look,
and them 4 teams right there.
Hey, look, that's true, but I'm just saying the Hawks have a perception out there with people that it's a losing franchise, and I think when you come from that, until you turn it around and get the championship, unfortunately, I think the players suffer.
Yeah, Dominique had respect from like Magic Johnson,
all the
Dominique
players.
and all that, but for some reason, man, the media or whoever the coaches was, like even when the great Lenny Wilkins came here, him and Dominique had beef. That's why he got traded.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, look, Larry Bird came and spoke at the man the man statue ceremony.
Yeah.
Wow.
Larry, you know what I mean? So that like when you hear the way these players talk about Larry Bird, how much of a trash talker Larry Bird was, right? To know Larry Bird took time to come and speak on behalf of Dominique Wilkins at his statue being unveiled, man, you already know the respect that he had. You know what I mean? Because he could have easily brushed him off as he just a dunker, but they let you know. And I heard Charles Barkley say one time they showed him getting dunked on.
Yeah.
And they were laughing in the studio. And he said, like, Magic was there, so Magic didn't laugh like everybody else. He was like, I don't know what y'all think is funny. That's Dominique Wilkins coming down the lane full speed. I got out his way. Exactly. I got clean out of his way. I mean, so the players, they respected Dominique.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? But it's just that perception, league-wise, and more importantly, who the league want to sell tickets to, right?
Come on, man.
They want to sell tickets to the fans, right?
Yep.
Whether it's the Olympics or not. So if the fans have a perception that you're a player that come from losing, unfortunately, you get lumped into that.
Wow.
And to me, you don't. This is just my perspective. It's just Trey's perspective, y'all.
Yeah.
Until you start winning.
Yeah.
Until you start winning, I think it happens to fall on the players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because look at the Clippers. How many players with the Clippers get the respect like that?
I can't remember one Clipper from the 80s.
I'm gonna tell you one Clipper who got respect over the last 15 years, Kawhi Leonard. But before he got there, before Kawhi Leonard got there, what did Kawhi Leonard do? He had already won 2 rings.
That's true.
He was looked at as a champion.
Yeah.
Even when Blake Griffin was there, they liked Blake, but they never thought their teams could win.
Yeah.
Like even when they had Lob City, it was exciting, but nobody believed that I didn't even believe they were gonna win a championship. Oh yeah, they gonna lose. And so that's what happens from the outside to our teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we inside of it, so we get emotional about it.
Can we give a shout out to Kim Matumbo?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kimbe, man. I mean, yes, sir.
Yeah, we were, man.
Oh, damn, for real?
Yeah, man.
But anyway, shout out to Kim Matumbo for Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for trying to make the people think that we're not thinking about Matumbo.
No.
And just so you know, we put out a whole Matumbo tribute on Tuesday.
That's right.
With an original song that we created.
That's hard.
Yeah.
You might want to pay attention to the show you work with, sir.
This man don't even know what we putting out, man.
Look at him.
I never seen a black man turn red.
Hey, but no, seriously though, like, yeah, man, we lost the great Mutombo. Mutombo, like, not only was a great player, when he passed, a lot of things I didn't know about him. I never took the time to like research Mutombo. I just knew about him basketball wise. Yeah. Apparently, like Mutombo did a lot of good things as far as in different communities, especially over in his home country and different things that he's done. So shout out to him, man, to be able to take the time and take the gifts that he was given and then help them be able to bless other people.
Exactly.
I was looking back at the highlights we put together, man, and I didn't appreciate Mutombo when he was here. You understand what I'm saying? Now going back, looking at it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Beast.
If the Hawks had Mutombo right now with the team we have right now, you can't tell me we wouldn't make no noise. I think we have a legitimate chance to go there, bro.
Man, you talking about a man who won Defensive Player of the Year, I think, 3 times?
Exactly.
Like that's not easy to win Defensive Player of the Year of the NBA.
Man, and no wonder Jordan got mad that time Jordan got the best of him because Mutombo was looking at them clips was packing Jordan up, boy.
Oh yeah, boy. I'm talking about boy, he was blocking Jordan shots left and right, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you got something you wanted to ask him?
Yeah. I want. Are we done with the?
No, go ahead now.
So I want to take it to music, man. ATL, man. I know who my favorite rapper is. Andre 3000. That's my favorite rapper, just always. Yeah. I want to ask you, man. Out of all the ATL rappers, and I think we make a mark on the world as far as music.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite artist from Atlanta, man?
3 Racks. He's up there.
3 Racks. I like the way you put that.
Goody Mob. I got to go the Goody as a
This
whole.
man same cloth as us.
Yeah, the Goody. Rich Homie Quan, man.
Okay. Oh.
Rich Homie was the.
Rest in
he
peace.
was gonna be the
Rest in
one.
peace.
Rich
Rest in
Homie,
peace.
if he wouldn't have had all the extra stuff going on that wound up happening with his career, Rich Homie would have easily had a 10-year run of domination, man.
What you talking about is the stuff with like all the street stuff with Thug and all them.
But just politics.
Yeah, the
it
politics.
wasn't even just the
Yeah, he
street
just talking
stuff.
about
I mean,
politics
he
of the
had
game.
to deal with
Fly,
just
all that.
politics,
Yes,
man.
he had a
It
lot of
was just
stuff.
industry politics, and a lot of artists get caught up in industry politics.
Yeah.
They would have had a great career. But then if you can't navigate the politics, or you just don't feel like navigating the politics, it makes it very
Man,
difficult.
you might have said something.
Yeah.
then.
Because everybody ain't just being blackballed. Some folks like, hey man, I'm tired of this shit.
Exactly, and
You can have it.
And I know a lot of people like
Yeah.
like we said, like when I said Fly, a lot of negative sense. I love Fly.
Yeah.
So like I know the situation. So you're right. It's you don't may want to deal with it, and
Exactly.
sometimes
Yeah,
that
and
happens.
see, I don't know exactly what the issues were with him and pretty much anybody. I just know that he just ran into a situation to where it seemed like he was having to deal with it coming
Man.
from every angle.
Be high. Let me tell you, man. A couple years ago, my partner Doug from Grand Hustle, he lives next
DP.
door. Dollar DP, he lived next door to Rich Homie Quan. I mean, like from these mics like that.
Yeah.
And we went over there, and he played us some music. It was me, Doug, Monte, and some other people that was on his team.
Yeah.
When I tell you, man, the music was there, and he just wouldn't release it.
Yeah.
Music that's been out for years.
Yeah.
That he's made, not been out, but it's been made.
Yeah.
That he wanted to put out. Man, you right, bro. He was
Yeah.
he
No,
had
he
something.
was
talented.
one, and then also he had a message in his music
Mm-hmm.
though. So it wasn't that he was just artistically better than everybody, but just as far as relevancy and actually putting effort and thought into the words that he was saying, that man actually had a voice and he had something to say. And I think it was something that the city needed. You know, some people voices, you just need to hear their perspective over the music because, you know, they ain't going to come to party every time they get in the studio. They're not going to come to trap every time they get in the studio. They actually might be poets and they might actually be thinkers and having something to say.
Say
And
something
Rich
you need to
Homie
hear.
fell into that category
Yeah.
of people that actually had something to say. And then also, you know, as older gentlemen out here in the game, it's hard to be fans of younger artists because you might not be able to relate to the music that they're putting out. But
Exactly.
Rich Homie, I'm probably was like 5 years older than Rich Homie, but I was a fan of him as an artist, even though he was a younger person.
Yeah.
You know, so he was the kind of artist that just could bring in a new school and, you know,
He transcended
he
age.
transcended age.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like his music related to a lot of different people.
I got to get this one.
And Kilo.
Kilo was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
His music was ahead of his time. Now, all the
So
stuff,
ahead of his time.
yeah, like all the stuff that happened to him after that, I don't, forget that. But his music,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
you go listen to some of them early tapes, man.
That Organized
creative.
Taste album was
That was one of the
greatest
best.
albums
Yeah,
ever
it
put
was.
out.
It was.
I don't give a damn.
And it was underrated. We talked about it
Yeah.
earlier today.
Man, I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, like Kilo was putting melody in music back when
Yeah.
people were afraid to.
Come on,
But he made
that
like,
boom.
cause I don't care what type of music it is.
Yeah.
I don't care. It can be hip hop, country. You can take it to jazz, whatever. Melodies rule.
Exactly.
Because you can go to another country, you might not understand nothing you hearing on
Come
the
on,
radio,
man.
but you hear that melody.
That's right.
That melody gonna speak.
He
to
was
you.
ahead of his time, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, hey, this is what I want to ask you, man. This
it,
is
man.
perfect, since you repping the A like that. Your Mount Rushmore of Atlanta figures, like, we can say like Ryan Cameron, Jermaine Dupri, whoever.
But don't give him any name.
Yeah, I'm giving you names. That's you
Yeah.
can't. Those
But
names.
no, those might
so-
not have been on my list.
All right, cool.
I mean,
Yeah, but still.
Your
but-
Mount
yeah.
Rushmore. And Trey, I know we talked about that. I want to hear yours as well after Be High. Give us 4 Atlanta figures that you would say, is your Mount Rushmore. And should we include athletes or not?
You can include whatever you want to include. Yeah,
Ooh,
you
see,
can go
that-
ahead all the way around.
Let's not include athletes. Let's not include
Yeah,
athletes.
because
Let's,
Dominique would be in there
Yeah.
on my athlete
Yeah.
side.
yeah. So
I
let's
got to go
be rappers, public figures.
consistency. I got to go Greg Street.
Yeah. Ooh,
Greg
Shout out to Street. That's a good one.
Know, at 6 o'clock, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. If I'm in my car,
It's time for
I'm
street
gonna
rock.
go. I'm gonna turn on that goddamn intro. I gotta hear that just to make sure I'm in the
6 o'clock.
right.
Hey,
It's time
and he
for street
always have
rock.
somebody dope doing
Yeah,
it.
man.
Come on,
Always
man.
have somebody dope.
Come on,
Yeah.
But I got to hear Zach go crazy on that intro every day at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I might turn the station after the intro
And
go
look,
on.
and
But I'm turning to
before
it,
him,
man.
Breed.
MC Breed.
Before him,
come
Breed
on,
went
man.
crazy on the
Come
6 o'clock.
on, man. No,
he had
Breed
some
with the
dope.
truth, too.
Yeah, he had a dope.
Come on. So I got to go street. You know Rico Wade. You know, you
that's
got
a
to
good
put
one. That's a
Rico
good
up
one. That's a
there.
good one.
You know, let
That's
me
his family.
see. Street, Rico, Atlanta figures that just really, you say that's Atlanta. I mean, I'm going to go back. See, I'm a pioneer kind of person.
Come on,
too. I'm about
bring
my
it to us. Give it to us. Give it to
stuff,
us.
And I'm about my longevity stuff. I can't let folks forget about Kilo and what he brought to the game.
Kilo brought a lot to the
I
game,
can't
man.
because when Kilo was a fool. Okay.
Hey, let me tell you
Can't
a story
eat,
about a
can't
story.
sleep, just geek, man.
So the cocaine record before
yeah.
the top 8 at 8, it was always another artist from another, Ghetto Boys.
Exactly.
Whoever. Kilo was one of the first ones from Atlanta that made the top 8 at 8, man. We can be proud of that. But continue, man.
Let me see who else out of the city. I mean, And I mean, I got to put my favorite group, Goody Mob, in there too. I got to throw. I'd say Goody Mob is one person.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
You know.
And I like them. I grew up in the same neighborhood as them.
Well, it's the Soul Food album for me. Like I tell folks, that album transcended time. When Soul Food album came out, that's like 96, I'm 13 years old. But I just knew that I was hearing some good music and I enjoyed it. But then I turned around and I was 20 years old and I was still listening to it. But now it's making a little bit more sense to me. Then I'm 30 years old still listening to it, but I'm totally getting everything that they saying now. And at 40 years old, I still pop that thing in now.
Hey, as God is my witness, Aaron, did I not say that today that Soul Food Goody Mob was one of the most slept on albums of all time?
It's one of the greatest
I said that
albums of all
today,
time.
bro.
That album right there.
Goody Mob, Soul Food, number 4.
Come on. I mean, when it comes to the
First of all, I stand a little more than 5 feet tall. Ooh,
Come on, man.
You remember that? That one I thought CeeLo could out-rap anybody, bro.
That's the first time I heard of my partner Pretty Ken before I met him. I don't think he get a lot of people might not agree, but I don't think this man get enough credit for what he's done to entertainment. I don't know why everybody know he is the nigga.
Yeah.
But for some reason they don't prop him up there the way he should.
Ooh.
I gotta give Jermaine Dupri some love.
Ooh. Jermaine Dupri is that guy. I mean, when it comes to the R&B, and then when it comes to just what he brought to the game as far as what he did, I think that JD, them franchise boys, Bone Crusher, I mean, Usher, Escape. I mean, my God,
man. Like, so I'm gonna throw Jermaine in. Jermaine's the only person.
Why do you think that he don't get the love that he deserves?
You know what, man? I really don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know why people don't give. Maybe it's because Jermaine came in with Criss Cross. Maybe that was the first representation people saw, and it was
I
like
think he was
younger.
associated with the kids that they don't get respect for that.
And it was like younger, even though. So I don't know. Like Zach B. Rich explained it more than what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of that. But like people don't understand how talented that Jermaine Dupri is. Jermaine Dupri, like, he's one of those guys.
Man, he held his own with the Jay-Z song, bro.
Man, look.
Well, see, at one time, I thought it was Diddy, Jay-Z, and Jermaine Dupri in the game, though. I mean, so I don't know. I don't know. I thought that.
well, like, people know that Jermaine has accomplished a lot, and people will understand that. But I don't think that people pull Jermaine's name out of like he's one of the first names they pull out of a hat. And I think he should be pulled out the hat quicker. If you're talking about names of people that we need to talk about, Jermaine's name need to be pulled a lot quicker than I think most people do. Like I think he should be right up there at the forefront.
I feel
for all the things he did at a young age, man. How you 18, 19 years old
doing it?
Get a group, put them on. But look. Produced everything, wrote everything. Hell, look, I'm just speaking on number Criss Cross at the second.
Ooh.
Produced everything, wrote everything. Now, the boys already had their backwards clothing, but they had a belief that he could pull it off. His dad is who he was in the music business, but you still have to be competent and you still have to be intelligent and talented.
Come on, man.
And look.
He's a big foundation to building Atlanta.
Look, let me tell you something. y'all know this, and you still have to have a certain level of intelligence and a good foundation in yourself to navigate your way through this business and not let your success eat you up.
Yeah.
Jermaine did never, and then right when they were talking about doing verses, and right when he was getting clowned and the person he was finna do the verses against, we was sitting there saying that, hey man, you ain't got no current stuff. You ain't got no current this, current that. How many hits Jermaine done had since then?
Come on.
When Jermaine and Puff were talking about having a versus, and they were on that IG live that all of us saw, and Puff was saying, mine current though, get current nigga, get current. How many hits has Jermaine Dupri had since then? Plenty. How many number ones has he had since then? Jermaine ain't never.
Shout out to JD.
Like, let me tell you, let me tell you for real, he has never gone anywhere, and I don't think people give Jermaine Dupri enough credit. And I was on one of his So Def Bass All Stars album, Volume 3. My name was YB at the time. I sure was with my partner. It stood for Young Black Male. You know what I mean?
YB.
Man, watch about one of the wackest names I ever had. Lil Jon told me I don't like that name. You need to go with Playboy Trey. Yes, I'm talking about the Lil Jon. He told me, yeah, that name is pretty bad. But you know, I was young. I wanted to try to do what I want to do. But anyway, I was on the album. Yeah. They one of the first ones to cut me a check back when Lil Jon was A&R, but that's not why I'm saying it. I'm giving the man his credit because we have seen the man put in work. This man built the label and put a bunch of people out. I'm going to tell you another thing why I think sometimes Jermaine doesn't get the respect here in Atlanta. I don't think that, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but from what I remember, outside of Criss Cross, and people look at Criss Cross as kids, Jermaine didn't put on a rapper from the city of Atlanta, and I hear that a lot. They didn't put on a rapper that people gravitate to, or people might think was
like
street
a Tip.
Or something like that, like a Tip, or like somebody like that, like a Tip, or like a G or 2 Chainz or something. You know, so I like this. Not my thought process on him. I'm telling you what I hear a lot.
Let me say something. Like I work with Jermaine. I had an artist we was gonna do together, and Jermaine is like a sponge. He observes. He don't like to rush into nothing. I think that's why he missed, you know, like a Tip or a Jeezy. They probably been to him. He probably met with him. Yeah. And he probably just sat there and just observed.
He didn't feel like dealing with the headache.
No, what I'm telling you, he probably did. But I'm telling you, I work with him, bro. And I'm telling you, he takes his time. And it's not a bad thing. Yeah. He takes his time.
It's his process.
Yeah, that's his process. And I think on his process, he probably missed out on some of the high artists that you were talking about. And he didn't care. He's like,
see, what about the franchise boys, Bone Crusher, them doing that?
Yeah, so he did get franchised, and he did, but they had already built like their own movements, and I think a lot of people look at franchise as, man, that's Bankhead. They built their own thing. Yeah, they were on So Def, but man, these boys did their own thing. Bone Crusher, everybody knew Bone. Now Jermaine did take him to another level. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people knew a Bone Crusher. I don't think that way. That's not my thought process, but I've heard some people say that, and I'd be like, come on, dog.
That's a good one, Trey.
I'd be like, but, and I got one more that I'm gonna add in there because
I like his.
Well, I'm saying like this. I mean, it's so many great names, right? And we never gonna be wrong. We never gonna be right because there's so many people who could be on the list. But we're not gonna be wrong because we adding dope names to the list anyway, right? So, but I'm gonna still state it anyway. This person, and we interviewed him. Man, he was the soundtrack. He was the soundtrack to my younger days. He just was. He was the soundtrack to my younger years and my teenage years and my young adult. Ryan Cameron.
Oh yeah,
Ryan Cameron. Yeah. He has to go up there. Ryan Cameron, still to this day. I have been hearing Ryan's voice as a kid on the radio. I heard his voice as a teenager on the radio. I go to the Hawks games, you would hear Ryan's voice back in the days. Go to the Falcons, you hear Ryan's voice. You go to Georgia Tech now, you hear Ryan's voice.
You put in
the man
2K?
Is in 2K. The man told us, I didn't even know he's in the damn airport. You hear him giving a PSA in the airport like, Ryan Cameron is Atlanta.
ATL.
You know what I mean? So Martin Luther King, Maynard Jackson. Yeah. Then I'm gonna go. I went ahead and moved away from those type because it's a lot more that I can add.
True.
I went to music. The one I snatched out for music is Jermaine. I'm gonna give Jermaine his respect. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna pull Ryan Cameron in for the entertainment side outside of music. That's my fault.
That's great, man.
I like that.
That's awesome.
I like that.
I'm gonna give y'all my 4, but I'm not gonna repeat nobody else said because I was gonna say Ryan Cameron.
Okay.
Gonna say Greg Street.
Okay.
I gotta. Yeah, mine's hard now. I gotta think like I said. Y'all,
But remember what I said.
it's a lot.
You're not gonna be. Neither of us gonna be wrong.
Oh, yeah,
neither of us gonna be right because somebody gonna say somebody should be added, but nobody can dispute and take off exactly.
You know who's coming to my mind? Dallas Austin. I gotta get Dallas Austin.
Dallas is the unsung hero, and when you say that thing about JD, I feel like
Dallas.
about Dallas.
Yeah.
I feel like JD, he do get his love, but Dallas deserves.
You feel like
his
Dallas
respect.
don't get any.
They act like Dallas didn't put it down first.
He did.
Okay, he the one who showed folks what the hell was going on.
He did.
You said Rico Wade,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna take it a little stop a little further than what you're saying. I'm gonna say Outkast.
Yeah.
Outkast put us on the map mainstream musically. You know, like the South got something to say.
Of course.
That's a quote. So Outkast, I give it to them. We're gonna count them as one.
No, I like that.
Man. We said Monica Kaufman. That was a good one, man.
Yeah. No, I had to come out of my memory back.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong. You went in your bag. You went in your bag.
Come on now.
I got a lot of
Pull it out.
sports guys, but we're not including sports. I was gonna say the real deal Holyfield, but can't include the sports. So I gotta think of somebody that's done something for Atlanta.
Real deal. He is.
He said Martin Luther King on my ass.
With Dr.
God,
King. With Dr. King.
You know what? I gotta go Tip. T.I.
Oh, of course.
I gotta go Tip, King of the South.
Yeah.
He was the first arrogant guy talking that shit.
Tip was the first one when we heard him rapping. We were like, who the hell is this going off?
Yes.
That man, he.
Young nigga.
You know what I loved about Tip, and I'm going to go back, and I hate to take it back to Rich Homie Quan too at the same time, but it's that same kind of feeling when you hear somebody coming to the game and they got a different sound, and it's like, who is that?
Yeah.
And they're being themselves, and they just dropping flavor all over the damn place.
I'm thinking, man, I gotta think one more, man. One more.
What you got?
He took Ryan. He took him out there.
After you name this, I'm gonna say something about a person that we didn't add
Okay,
as well.
let me think. Go ahead and add the person because I'm really trying to come up.
So
with
I'm gonna say this one person,
right.
and hey, I mean maybe because we are in the culture that we are in, and we all black. We stayed with all of our black heroes.
Yeah.
But hey, I have to add one of the white guys in it that put it down for the city of it.
Who?
We have to bring up Ted.
Oh wow, that's a great one.
We have to.
I'm with Ted.
We have to.
Ted
You know,
credit
like,
CNN.
Hey, we have
The
to.
Braves,
Like we have
the
to.
Hawks. He almost bought the Falcons.
Hey, look, and like I said, like of course, I mean we black, so hey, we go straight to our black heroes.
Exactly.
I mean, it's rightfully so.
Hey, as a kid-
but if we stepping outside of that, we want to add, name people.
kid,
who
I like
help-
Ted Turner.
help. I'm not saying we didn't, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think we just naturally we navigate to our black hero. We want to prop up
I got one.
our black hero. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if I stepped outside of naming them, you got to name Ted Turner.
He brought the media down here.
I got my fourth. He did bring the media. CNN, what it is
Come on.
today.
TBS,
Yeah.
cable
Sports.
TV. Yeah.
Man,
So, TNT.
Yeah,
NBA.
TNT.
I would have to say he was a big, vital part of bringing the Olympics to Atlanta. He was a former mayor. Mm-hmm. He's been a lot of stuff to Atlanta. I say Andrew Young.
Yeah, I was thinking
Andrew
Andrew
Young.
earlier too. When
Got
you
to.
said King, I was
Got
thinking
to.
Andy.
Andrew
Got
Young.
to.
And he was with King.
Exactly.
Back in the day.
Got
So
to.
Come on.
that's my four, man. That was hard. That was hard coming after y'all. Y'all had some great
It's
ones,
difficult.
man.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty about Atlanta. We got so many.
But how I forget about MLK, man?
I don't know how the hell I
You
did
got me
that.
chills on that one, man.
Yeah, that pissed me off. Actually.
nah.
Yeah, I was like, wait a
Right
minute,
then, I
how
didn't
you
like-
gonna sleep
I
on
said
Dr.
T.I.
King?
And Tip on mine, but he said the King. I'm like,
Come on.
T.I. You got me on that one.
I said it like that on purpose.
Oh, see, there
I
you
said
go.
it like that on
Probing
purpose.
questions, man.
Not because of you.
Yeah.
I wanted the audience to think that I was about to say something else.
got me.
It didn't have anything to do with you. It didn't have
All
anything.
right, I'm sorry.
But look, I do want to, if you mind, if we step away from other people entertainment, I want to talk to B-How a little bit more about his story.
For sure.
Yeah.
My brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you don't mind if I call you that, my brother? I feel like we done met, we cool.
Yeah.
Is it okay we talk about God?
Yeah.
All right, shout out to God.
Last time I checked.
All right, let go.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's an inside joke.
It's an inside
Oh,
joke.
okay.
It's an inside joke.
Okay.
It's an inside joke.
No, it's a joke, man.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's an inside
Thank
joke.
you, God.
We ain't gonna call
All
about it on the
shouts
show.
out to Lord.
But look, man, you were teaching, my brother. Are you still teaching?
Yeah,
now?
I'm still teaching right
man,
now.
so like what got you into teaching what got you like so passionate about what you do to where you want to teach it? And I also want to ask this: was it something that you learned from someone else? Like, do you teach because it's something you like to do, or because of who you are is the reason you teach? My sister says that all the time.
Well, see, for me, when I was in college, I was going to Clark Atlanta University, and I was a sophomore in school, and it's time to pick major time during that time. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and at that time, you know, you had the radio path, the communication path, and you had the education path for our school. Now, I had a lot of different educators in my family, so I was thinking to myself, that seems like a good point of reference for me. That seems like something attainable. Radio, I don't know nobody in my family that done did no radio and media and stuff like that, so I didn't have a real point of reference to it. So at that time, I had to really make a decision, and then I went on ahead and said, okay, I'm gonna do this media thing and see what's going on with it.
Okay.
And just so happened, one of my classmates, he was working at the radio station, a boy named Ryan Moore. He was already working there while we was in school. So I was in class, you know, just kicking flavor, talking shit. And he was like, hey man, you need to be on the radio. You need to do radio. And then he brought me in there, and then I came in as an intern and, you know, worked my way up or whatever. But that was always part of my plan, was to teach. So it was more so of a case of, once I got into radio and I was doing what I did, I realized that, okay, this is part of the plan, and I had to crank up my career, because one thing that I didn't want to do, I didn't want to go in that classroom and not have no real accolades or no real stories to tell these students, because, you know, they ain't gonna respect you unless you done really put in some doggone work.
That's the truth.
So also in the same breath, my education is what has allowed me to be able to be successful regardless of what the circumstances were that I found myself in. So whereas, you know, you have to battle through gatekeepers and all this different stuff, I was able to kind of circumvent a lot of that stuff through using my education throughout my career. So once I was able to do that and I was able to see that it worked for me, it was like, okay, let me go back and tell these students what it is, so I can help them get through the 15 years of stagnation that I dealt with.
Yeah.
They can get through that a lot more quicker. You see what I'm saying? And it's also just to push the culture forward, because folks need a point of reference and they need the information. And one thing that I despise is people that got the information that don't hand it out. You see what I'm saying? Because I was that guy that needed information. I was that guy that asked questions. I'm that guy that asked for help. But when I did it, folks told me no.
Yeah.
So the only way I was able to amount to something is through pure, let me read this book and let me find out how to do this. So a lot of the stuff that you see that I do is really applied from the education that I received, because that was the only way that I was going to be able to do it. In those rooms, I was never the chosen one. Nobody ever said, hey, hey, man, you seem like you got a great personality. We're going to put you on Front Street. It was like, no, tell that nigga to go to the back and sit his ass the fuck
Tell
down.
B-High to stay low. I know your name B-High, but stay low.
Exactly. Come on. No, and it's funny you say that, but PE coach calling me Low Tower.
He call you low.
Yeah,
Your name High Tower. He had the nerve to call you Low
Tower.
Tower.
Call me Low Tower.
Are you serious?
Yeah, trying to be funny. So, I mean, I dealt with that the whole time.
Wow, I just cracking a joke and someone actually had the nerve to say that.
Through that in real life. You see what I'm saying? And it was plenty of it. But the only thing that allowed me to beat them was the education. Me knowing what to do and how to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do podcasting, but to be honest with you, I enjoy teaching more than media, because I can see the fruits of the labor. I see a lot of my students on television right now. You see what I'm saying? Doing news, doing radio across the country, doing media across the country, acting in films and acting on television. And I'm seeing that stuff in real time. And I remember when that person was a student in my class, and I was just giving them the game, letting them know what to do. But my game that I teach is, when you run up against this and they tell you that, this is what you do. You don't go home. You get busy. You see what I'm saying? Every time I was trying to amount to something, I was told, no. But I was like, okay, that's the reason why I created Beehive TV and stuff like that, because I had to create an opportunity for myself at the same time, because I wasn't allowed to be able to get on the air at a prime time. My show was at 2 a.m. in the damn morning. So it was like, okay, what am I going to do? But my professor, when I was at Clark Atlanta, a guy named Professor Will, he was like, hey, man, the future of radio is the internet. Now, this is back between 01, 05 while I was in school.
Oh, boy, he put you on.
Yeah. We didn't have Pandora. Apple Music didn't exist. Spotify didn't exist. YouTube wasn't really doing nothing yet. You see what I'm saying? The internet wasn't even cranking up like that.
It just got created.
Exactly, it just got created. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I got into radio and I realized that I wasn't going nowhere fast, I was like, okay, yeah, don't get it messed up. I had the time of my life working the radio. That was the best job I ever had in my damn life, okay? Yeah. But for me, as far as being successful and having dreams and stuff that I was trying to obtain, I realized that it just wasn't a reality for me dealing with the bureaucracy and red tape, okay? So how do you get around that? I started looking for internet radio inside the radio station. And internet radio for me landed on YouTube. So I said, okay, let me take the party to YouTube. And I said, I'm about to crank this thing up. And by the time folks start to realize that this is where the party's at, I already was equipped with the knowledge, knowing that that was going to be the future. So I crank it up. By the time folks imagine me doing it, I had the information because I knew what I had just learned it at school. Yeah. But everybody else looking at me like, why the hell are you doing that? Why the hell you got these cameras in here? Why are you recording these interviews? Why are you doing this? But I was like, hey, man, this is the future. This is where it's going to be at. And I wanted to be able to control my own destiny. One thing about me, I don't deal well with folks telling me how far I can go and what I can be and what I can't be. No, but we ain't doing that. I got to be as great as I can be because I'm not about to sit back and allow you to stop my growth and keep me from going to where the hell I need to go. But how do you get around that, though? Yeah. That's where the education kicks in. Yeah. You got to educate yourself. Yeah. So, I mean, nigga, I went to Clark 4 years, went to Troy Masters 2 years, Full Sail another year. I mean, nigga, I'm an educated, learning brother, but I applied everything that I learned from all three of those schools to what I do today. So it allowed me to be an entrepreneur in the same breath because now I know how to build a business. I know everything there is to know about media. I know about the weapons of influence and stuff like that. How the hell do you build an audience? How do you do an interview? How do you make sure that the interview goes well? I was just teaching that in class the other day. I said, hey, let me explain something to y'all. I said, the information that I'm giving y'all right now is what's going to separate you from everybody else that's trying to do what the hell you want to do because y'all ain't going to be doing it. You ain't going to luck up on nothing. You're going to know what you're doing. And by you knowing how to do it, you're going to automatically do it well. So education, and then, you know, my family, I come from a lot of folks that they believe in education in my family. We don't play about that. Even with my kids, I'm like, y'all going to get this education. I don't give a damn what your situation is, what the hell's going on. You're going to get this information because this education is what's going to set you apart. That's what's going to save your ass. When you don't know, I mean, we die from lack of knowledge. And if you want to hide it from us, where they say put it.
Put it in a book.
So guess what? If you go in that book and you get the knowledge, can't nobody hide nothing from you and can't nobody keep you from doing nothing.
So once you download it, you got it, Phil.
You got it. So guess what, Trey? How do you do this? I don't know, Beehive. Well, you seem to be doing it pretty damn well, but you don't know how to tell me how to do it. Okay, well, I'm going to go read a book on it and I'm going to find out. And then you're going to come to me and say, how you figure that shit out, nigga? And I'm like, hey, man, with knowing me, I'm going to probably tell you how the fuck I did it because I don't care.
Yeah.
Because the information, my thing is, the more successful people that we have, the better off we all are. The bigger the media situation is in Atlanta, the stronger voice that we have collectively. That means that if all of us get to talking about the same thing, then all hell is going to break loose. And we trying to push a real agenda in the city. But if it's just one person talking about it, yeah, you're going to have everybody coming to you because you're the person to talk about it. But if we all talking about something together, then that's when the real change starts to occur. So we want to empower as many of us as possible to be able to go out here and affect change and get the job done. And that's what my mind is at. I love education and I love sharing the information and giving the knowledge, but I hate is when I give out the information and folks don't use it. But that's the other part too, because I give it away so freely, folks think that it ain't worth nothing because I give it away for free.
It is.
You see what I'm saying? So they're here and they'll let it sit right there on the table instead of actually doing what you just told them to do.
Man, I can tell how passionate you are about that.
Yeah.
That's how passionate.
Yeah.
So when you were like younger, did you envision yourself where you are now? Like, did you envision like this particular path?
I knew I was gonna do something, but at the end of the day, I was running around acting a fool just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like I say, I mean,
me too.
Come on, I'm at Kyle Heights. You see what I'm saying? I'm on the
Yeah.
west side. I'm in Big Hill. I'm getting to Big Hill playing ball at Big Hill. I'm going to Southwest.
I'm a Tiger.
Yeah, come on,
man.
Coach Calvin was my coach.
Yeah,
okay,
man,
you see what I'm saying? Coach Schmidt, that whole game. Coach E, I got to shout out Coach E if you ever see this, because he was one of them coach. And Coach Tyrone, man, that was my homeboy Terrence Lester. That was his dad.
That's crazy.
And he was a real coach right there. He would come and pick you up from the house and make sure that you got to practice. See, those are the black men that cared and gave a damn.
Coaching matters.
Exactly.
Coaching definitely matters.
Changes the life, because at the end of the day, if they wouldn't have came and picked me up and took me to practice, I would have been running around in the neighborhood every dog.
Especially for like a lot of these single black moms, coaches kind of like be father figures.
Yeah, they help out. They help out.
I'm telling you.
But I didn't see it. I didn't think it was something that was going to be. I was just kind of floating through life like every damn body else.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got into college, because I almost didn't go to college. I only applied to one school, and that was Clark Atlanta University. If I ain't get in, guess what? I wouldn't have went to college. I just would have said, I'm out here.
That's how it was.
You see what I'm saying?
My best friend went to Albany State.
Yeah.
And he knew the admissions guy.
Yeah.
And his name was Sid. Shout out to Sid. Sid got me in, bro.
Yeah.
He got me in Albany State, man. I wouldn't have gone to college if it wasn't for him, man.
Sometimes it just takes that one little thing to get you up through there. And so for me, once I got in there and I got into the industry, I just realized that, hell, to be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to get there because I was facing so much damn resistance. But once I got into the game, everybody was telling me hell no. So it was like, man, I don't know what the fuck. The issue was, it was like, my thing was, hell, fuck this shit. I'm about to go teach. And I said, before I go teach, I'm about to crank myself up so when I go and teach, I can be respected in the classroom.
That's crazy.
And it just so happened that work that I was putting in as my exit strategy spawned into my business at the same time.
Wow.
And that's really what happened, to be honest with you.
Crazy.
Man, I know we talked about how long you can interview. We kind of getting up on that time, so you let me know if you're getting close to where you.
Yeah, now take your time.
To where you got to skate. No, I'm glad I asked you that, because I think it's important to give people. I mean, I ain't got to tell you.
Yeah.
Hey, we can learn how to interview from you.
Yeah.
But I was finna say, I just think it's important to meet people where they are passionate at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not an expert at interviewing by no means anybody, but what I have learned from doing this, and what I've learned how when people would talk to me, I like when people meet me at where I'm passionate.
Well, see, also, too, the gift of gab, it's called the gift of gab. You ain't got to go to no damn college to have the gift of gab. If you got something to say, you got something to say.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Some folks are just got the gift of gab.
And boy, do he got the gift of gab. That ninja right there.
Come on. So, I mean, that just is what it is. You ain't got to be having all that extra stuff, but I'm saying, if you want to do something you don't know how to do, you better go learn about that shit.
Yeah, you better.
You see what I'm saying? Don't just be doing it and you ain't got the gift. See, it's about leaning into the gift at the same time, too. As you can see, I like to talk. So just the same way I like to talk on my podcast, when I'm giving my lectures in class, I'm in there running my mouth, talking the same damn way. I like to talk. I like to teach. I like to share information. I like to bounce back and forth with folks. So, I mean, for me, it ain't work. Whether I'm in my studio recording a podcast, or if I'm in the classroom talking to somebody, it don't feel like work, because this is what I was put here to do, was to talk some shit.
Man, we're gonna finish more of this conversation off camera, man.
Yeah.
It's so much deeper that I want to take the conversation. I don't know if people ready for it.
I'm here for it. Give it to them.
Shit. But it's just no. How you talking about how having something you are already gifted at, right? And then you put the gift of gab with being able to educate them. And so to not go too deep, like I was talking to Be Rich about, and I know you come from a family, or you got a pastor.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Be Rich about learning about spiritual gifts, right? I was telling him how. I didn't know much about spiritual gifts. I always thought spiritual gifts are what people, talk about prophecy, prophesying, or somebody speaking in tongues or whatever. But I was telling them how a lot of the things that we're made up as are spiritual gifts, right?
That's right.
Whether your faith, your discernment, what I'm saying, your ability to sit back and listen. Everybody has different spiritual gifts. As you were talking, it just reminded me how when you match what you were spiritually given as a gift with I want to think about the right word. Let's say a tangible gift that you can actually see. So your gift of gab with your ability to reach and teach people, and with that being a God, when you merge the two of those together and you go out and start to do the things that God wants you to do, at the same time with both of those.
Can't
You know what I mean? So and it
Can't
don't
nobody stop that
yeah,
if
and
they
it don't
want
yeah, and it don't matter who you are.
Yeah.
If you take your physical gifts or your tangible gifts that you can see and match them up with your spiritual gifts.
That's right.
And you use them to help other people. You're gonna knock down walls. You're gonna knock down. I promise you.
Come on.
It took me 40-something years to learn this, but I promise you.
Those are facts.
I promise you, if you do that, and that's what you were talking about. As you were talking, that's what's going on in my mind. I'm like, man, he's saying exactly the conversation. You didn't say it exactly like what I was saying, but that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, you got to lean into that gift. You got to lean into it. See, you got too many folks seeing somebody doing something else, and they be like, oh, that look cool what you doing, but that ain't your gift. You might be the greatest manager ever. You might be the greatest engineer ever. You might be the greatest orator ever. If I'm the greatest orator, then why am I engineering? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One thing that I do know, because you brought up my granddaddy. See, a lot of this stuff came from him as well, but it came from his story. See, my granddaddy came out of Pine Mountain, Georgia.
Okay.
And then he went to World War II and he fought. And he was a sharecropper down there. And when he went to World War II and fought, he was like, hey, man, I always wanted to walk across a college campus. But guess what? He had a 7th grade education. So when he came back from World War II, he was like 22, 21 years old. He was like, Brian, I went back to school in the 7th grade at 21, 22 years old.
Wow.
And I didn't give a damn what nobody had to say. He's like, I was getting on the train heading to school, and folks was laughing at me like, hey, man, what your old butt doing going to middle school? But he was like, no, I'm trying to go across the college campus. He took that same stuff to the churches that he ran and that he built. He didn't care what was going on. He had Elizabeth Baptist on MLK. He left that church because he didn't care. Then he went to, he preached out of Alfonso Dawson mortuary, okay? With 100 folks, raised the money, raised a few million up again, and then opened up another church on Campbellton Road and called it Greater Elizabeth. So I knew from him, I said, oh, you do what you want to do in this life. You don't let nobody box you in and tell you what you can't do. If you got that vision in your mind, you got to go and chase that vision, and you got to go attack that, and you got to make that stuff happen. But it ain't about how you looking, because you're going to look crazy doing it. Every time I think about him being 21 years old in the 7th damn grade, you see what I'm saying? I knew he was looking crazy, but he like, I didn't care what nobody thought about me. So the same way I was sitting in them studios, I remember bringing these artists in that studio, and I would hear the whispers in the back of the office when folks were like, who he bringing in here now? Why he bringing so-and-so in here? We don't even know who the hell that is. So-and-so, his career over with. I remember one of my biggest interviews, I laugh because I look at it right now, and I ain't even going to say what it is because I'm going to be giving up too much information. But before I did that interview, I was bringing it, they were like, who you got coming to the studio tonight? I said so-and-so. They're like, what that old nigga doing? He ain't got shit going on. Motherfucker hit the internet and did 100,000 views in a goddamn week. Now everybody looking crazy.
Now you know who did that? Cat Williams.
Oh, yeah.
He did that with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
Like, people like, that shit.
Come on, it went up. But the whole thing is, it probably went back to the gift but that brother had something to say too. And I knew. I know when somebody got something to say, and I'm going to make sure that you say it.
Man.
You know.
Man, I'm glad. Look, I love having these conversations.
Oh yeah, no,
these
all night long.
Man, these the conversations that I live for. Because like there's a lot of people out there who see you on the internet. They see you interviewing people, like they follow you, they respect you, they love you, but they may not have heard that whole story from you. They might not have learned everything. There's some people out there that are gonna be so happy that they heard you say something and telling that story about your grandfather. Like I got chills, man.
But
listening to you talk
I
about your
live by
grandfather.
that story right
That's
now.
hard.
Because I like, okay, because I saw how successful he became after looking crazy as hell. But he was like, man, I don't care what nobody got to say about me. I'll go and preach in this mortuary and build a whole nother church on y'all.
Wow.
I don't care. I will be in the middle of a mortuary, cranking this thing all the way up, raise this money again, and then I'm going to march. Y'all going to have to watch me march into my new church, and I'm going to call it Greater Elizabeth.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, you know, that right there, that's where the entrepreneurship part came from, too. So it was like, you know what, let me get my office Let me set up my business. Let me go ahead and set up my facility.
Yeah.
Let me do what the hell I need to do because I had a point of reference to it too. So even though I ain't in the church, it's still communication. He was just talking. That's just his journey that he took at that time. But for me, it was more so media, just talking to folks and creating those platforms. I wanted everybody to have a voice. I wanted to make the odds even. I didn't want all of our OGs to have to go out into pasture and look crazy as hell and watch the game getting played and feel like they can't come back out there in the game. They were like, nah, fuck that. Come out here and play in this game. We're going to show them your value, and they got to smell your cologne.
Man, let me tell you something. Wicked, who on the show with you all the time.
OG Gangsta Wicked, come on.
Let me tell you something, man. I don't know if enough people out there were giving Ghetto Mafia the respect that they deserve. They know about it, but to me, that's one of my favorite groups.
Yeah, me too.
From the Atlanta area. So the fact that you have them on there, and now people really get to know who he is. Because some people only learned about them straight from the dead. Some people don't know that's the life of a sniper.
Come on, man.
I got my Viper.
Come on.
I got my Viper. Hey, still.
Now
That's my second favorite Ghetto Mafia song, straight from the deck, #1. But that man, I would listen to that Life of a Sniper. I would listen to that again and again and again and again and again. I'm talking about again and again and again. For the first time, I'm the one with the ring off.
I thought that was Aaron, bro.
I'm like, why you looking at me?
Now, you know what? I turned it on because I wanted to make sure when B-High called, when he got downstairs, that I heard. Normally, I keep it off. But anyway, man, it's so you giving people like Turk coming back home. Everybody know who Turk is, but now, like you gave, you know what I'm saying, and I got to give him his credit for his talent, being able to speak the way he speaks, for people to learn who Turk is outside of the Hot Boys.
Exactly.
Because Turk was just, to a lot of people, he was a member of the Hot Boys, but I don't think they got a chance to learn who Turk was.
And see, that was the whole purpose of my platform, to make the odds even. When we talk about Wick first, Wick, when COVID hit, and I had to go and start the business, I was like, okay, I'm about to get this office. I called a lot of OGs to come down there and rock with me. First of all, I started off, I went in the office at first. I started off in patchwork. And I was in patchwork, and I had 2 guests that were supposed to come in that day. And they both stood me up.
You paid it for
But I had to pay for that. And I done got this long-ass 4-hour block. And then guess what? With Patchwork, it's one of the most busiest studios in the city. They stay booked. So I didn't know when I was going to be able to get back in there again. But when I was in there that day, I said, before I let this time go to waste, who can I call? Wicked. I called Wick. Wick came down there and crunked that shit up with me. And then I said, well, Wick, man, I'm about to get this office, man. Do you mind coming in with me all the damn time to help me crank this thing up? Because I can't do it by myself. I need some help. I called a few other OGs. They didn't answer. They didn't come to the call like Wick did. Wick showed up for me. Man. You see what I'm saying? See, that's the whole thing. It's deeper than just a nigga sitting on the table. He showed up for me when I needed somebody to show up for me. See, that's the difference. When I call, I'm not calling because of my help. I'm calling because, nigga, I need the help.
Look. You know what, man? I want to give a shout out to John Abraham, because when we first started, man, that was our first guest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He had to do it.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel you on that, man.
Come on. Same thing with Turk. Turk is a partner that I had been going back and forth with for years, but Turk was living in Memphis. And I like, Turk, you got to come down here to the A, man, so we can crank this thing up. Yeah. But Turk has held me down too and helped me out. See, it's a two-way thing. One hand wash the other with me. It ain't
I can tell.
They just coming in there and I'm helping them. Now, them boys putting it down and helping me. You see what I'm saying? And I have to appreciate what they do. But also, Turk got the gift of gab as well.
He does.
You see what I'm saying? So Turk, he gonna hit you with some bars in that conversation. Yeah. And I mean, he's entertaining and he got a strong opinion as well.
Definitely.
So I mean, with both of them guys, and I mean, I can't leave out Jody Breeze. Jody gonna raise hell when he come in there. DJ Toon gonna raise hell when he come in there.
Y'all be having D1 on the line now.
Yeah, exactly, man. Everybody be in that thing, man. Duke, what up, though, Duke? Duke was supposed to came the other week. We was supposed to get him in there. Duke. Yeah. And
you ain't choke no joke.
Man, choke no joke. Choke gonna come in there and raise hell as well, man. And see, also, you know, a lot of times in this industry, I can relate. I relate to niggas that get blackballed and hated on. because that's how my career started. I came from that. I came from that. I was blackballed and hated on. It wasn't nothing I could do. So I said, man, fuck this shit. I'm about to create a platform to where, nigga, you ain't gonna be able to blackball nobody. You ain't telling me what to do.
Yeah.
That's why don't nobody, I hate to go that far, but they can't control B-High. Because B-High gonna have who he want on that damn show. B-High gonna let them say what they want to say. Now, I ain't gonna let you get in there and disrespect nobody. That's one thing I'm firm on. You ain't gonna be coming in here disrespecting niggas.
Yeah.
But if you got a gripe and you got some shit you want to get off your chair, I'm gonna let you get it off your chair. If it's a truth, if you got a truth you need to tell, you come in there and tell your damn truth, man. And I ain't gonna gatekeep you. I'm gonna let you go ahead and get that out. Now, as long as it ain't offending nobody and just fucking up everything, we ain't doing that either.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let you get your point across, man. And that's my main thing. But Turk and Wick, them boys right there, man. I mean, they done held me down. I mean, whatever they need from me, they got. I tell you that.
Look, let me tell you. Hearing you break it down that way, it gives a whole new meaning to every time you say, I'm back in here with my podcast partner.
Exactly.
Like you really mean it. It ain't just somebody I'm doing now. This is my partner.
It's
my
rock
partner
with them.
for
Anybody
real.
that's a podcast partner, them people that done help me stay in business.
Yeah.
These folks done help me stay in business. I wouldn't be in business if I didn't have my podcast partners.
Man,
you see what I'm saying?
We definitely want you to help us out with our
I got
podcast,
you.
man, and give us some do's and don'ts, man, for sure.
Man, y'all already got it going on. Y'all just got to know what you're doing, so then you can monetize it. But y'all already got it going on. You just got to get. I'm gonna give y'all the theory behind what y'all already doing. So when you execute the theory, then the money gonna come in. Now the thing is that. See, I'm organic too, so that's the other issue. So when niggas is coming to me trying to find out my secret, they're gonna find out that it's a lot of fucking hard work that go along with that
100%.
shit. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of grind, it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It ain't no shortcuts because see, this the thing. If you padding your views and you padding all that stuff, you ain't making no money, you spending money, and the money ain't gonna never come in. Yeah. But if you're trying to make money off of monetizing your doggone platforms, you have to organically get it to the point to where you can make some money. But guess what? You don't got to do millions of views to organically make some money. You can get there doing tens of thousands of views.
You know what's
5,000 here.
What's frustrating with me is like getting your platform enough to qualify to be monetized. Like on Instagram, you gotta do 10,000. On TikTok, you gotta have 10,000 followers. On YouTube, you have to have 5,000 watch hours. It's like that's the frustrating part, especially when you start, you know your content is doing good.
Well, see, that's the whole regulation of it all.
Yeah.
So, like I tell folks, I taught the history of media too in school. When radio first started, everybody could get on radio. But then once they realized what the hell was going on, they're like, we got to put some regulations in here because you got a nigga in that corner right there speaking to the whole country, and we can't regulate that. Yeah. So that's why they bring in those stipulations on what you got to do to get there because it gives them the time to kind of vet your channel out, see what the hell's going on. You see what I'm saying?
I never looked at it.
Yeah, it's going to alert the algorithm, certain things that you're talking about that might slow you down and stuff like that. But if you just got good, genuine content, you'll be able to get up through there. But it's just the regulations of it all. They got to regulate it to keep everybody out because it's regulations. That's all it is they just regulating and it's only going to get worse. That's why you got to go up through there as soon as possible because you'll look up. I was just looking online the other day. They was talking about YouTube TV and how they want the creators to start to take their creations from regular YouTube uploaded content and put it to YouTube TV, and now they want to compete with Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. So Tubi, and when they start to do that, well, guess what? That's going to be a whole nother level of money, but all of the creators might not be able to get over there unless they meet a certain threshold. So the whole thing is you want to get your numbers all the way up organically. So when they put these kind of regulations in there and say, okay, nigga, we gonna keep y'all from this money, but only these people can get that money.
You can get through the gate.
Get through the gate every doggone time. But the only way to be able to get through there safely and securely is through growing. I call it grassroots digital. You got to grow that thing.
I like that anyway.
Yeah, you got to grow it the long way. Like I told folks, it took me. I started my YouTube 2015 with 200 subscribers, and I didn't really start getting it in until probably damn near 2020. But I was just creating the content. I wouldn't stop creating the content. I had to figure out the playbook. Like I said here, like I said right here, Vlad got the playbook. Everybody might be mad at Vlad, but it's not about the content that he's putting out. It's the way that he put out the content, and that's how you make the money.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
That's how you make the money. You just look at Vlad. If you notice, Vlad is an independent media outlet making a whole bunch of damn money. So I respect him just from the business standpoint. Now, I might not agree with all of the content that he's putting out because some of that stuff might be detrimental to the community sometimes. But the way that he puts it out, that's the way that you're supposed to put it out in order to monetize it and make the money. If you put out the full video first, guess what? Why am I going? I watched the full video. Why am I watching the clips? I just watched the full video. You want me to watch the clip again, nigga? I just watched the full video. But if you put out the clip first, I'm waiting on the full video.
Yeah.
And I'm watching every clip until the full video comes out.
Some of this stuff caught my attention.
You see what I'm saying? And, yeah. And that's how that goes. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it goes that way.
Yeah.
And then once you get the full video out, I mean, hell, you making money again for folks that just want to sit back and watch the full video. But the money's already made by the time the full video
I got to tell you something I discovered. I'll tell you offline.
Yeah.
We wrap this up.
Man, this has been super dope, man. I couldn't have asked for the interview to turn out better than it has, man.
I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah, no, it's all. I really wanted to make a point of interviewing you because I wanted to hear more. I hear your perspective. I wanted to hear more of your story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to hear and learn more of your story.
Exactly. My thing is I just want to inspire the folks that think that they can't do it to know that they can do it. But just to let them know that, hey, nigga, you better educate your damn self. That's the main thing. Niggas run from that education so far. They think that I don't got time to learn. Nigga, I'm about to go get me some more education now. I want to learn AI, nigga, because see, now this the other thing. Now, before we get up out of here, the future. See, we hear it now, nigga, but where's the future of the game going? AI, faceless content.
Man,
it's not about the AI taking the jobs. It's about the creativity that it goes to telling the AI what to do. And the prompts. That's where the education is going to come in. Who can create the best prompts for AI to create the best content? So if a kid gets on there, they're going to say, show me a yellow dog walking down the street. They're going to do that. But if a nigga that's a prompt genius get in there and say, I want a yellow dog looking like a zebra, break dancing, got a face of Nino Brown. With robotic legs walking down the street, then their video is going to look a lot better than that kid.
Yeah. It's going to do something crazy.
But their video going to look a lot better than the other video. So that's the future of the content. So it's going to be faceless content, and that's what's going to be going crazy. That's what we got to get ahead of now because you don't run from the AI, embrace the AI and figure out because the AI turns you into 100 people.
Yeah, trust me.
All them ideas you have to be like, I need a graphic designer for this. I need a web designer for this. I need an app designer for this. I need somebody I need an editor. You don't need none of that with that AI. You just need the thought. It's doing all the dirty work.
The way you broke that down make a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the main thing is to not be afraid of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Man, let me ask you this before we go. And you may want to share, you may not want to share.
I'm here for it.
What's the craziest interview you ever had?
Oh, man. That interview, the craziest one I can't even share online because it might incriminate everybody. I done had situations to where folks done went live in the middle of the interview. They done left out the studio and the feds come in after the interview. And I'm like, I got to call and say, hey, man, the feds just came up here looking for you after the interview because y'all niggas going live on Facebook, man.
Wow.
I done had that was the craziest situation that happened after the interview.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I ain't even going to go there with that crazy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that be crazy.
I want to hear that though, man.
Yeah,
I want. No. I didn't say it like I want you to share it. I just like to be able to hear because I know you've been through some kind of crazy stuff, and I can imagine you've had stuff that you can't share. You know what I mean? Because everything is not to be said on camera.
Yeah.
Everything is not to be said on camera. That's one thing I think. I think people lose that sometimes in 2024.
But it ain't that serious.
Everything can't be said.
It ain't that serious too, man. See, that's where it gets messed up. A lot of folks with these platforms, they trying to get that viral moment. They trying to get that money, but this at the expense of our brothers.
Yeah, credit yourself, my guy.
Sometimes you just got to stop it and say, hey, man, I don't want this brother to get shot. I don't want the feds to come and get this brother. I don't even want this message going out. I know it can make me some money, but I call it taking a pay cut for the culture. You got to take a pay cut for the culture, man, just to save some lives.
Take a pay cut for the culture.
Yeah, you got to take a pay cut for folk, man. Because if it's all about the money, then we interviewing folks that's done did some terrible things to us, man. And, you know, we making folks that's watching that say, you know what, I can go and do that same terrible thing, man, and get the same clout. And it's like, you know, unless they're teaching how that terrible thing don't need to be occurring in our community, then we can't be on there promoting that. You see what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. If we can't be promoting that kind of stuff.
Man, well, we held you longer than we naturally intended to. But it's all good, man. Beehive, I want to thank you, my brother.
Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Appreciate
Thank you, bro.
man.
No
Thank
problem.
you, man.
Appreciate you, man. And as we continue to navigate our way, I will be looking forward to when we can get that call that say, hey, we want you on Beehive.
I got y'all. That ain't
Hey, let me say this real quick.
What's up?
I meant to say this earlier. We got off into the deep world, so that's cool. You know, my boy would do sports bars and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we broke the curse. So with Atlanta, we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year, man.
Ooh.
So we saying, why not us, man?
Come on.
So just when we win the Super Bowl, you know, we want to come on the show, man, and
I'm
talk
here for
about
that.
us talking about telling us how we broke the curse, man.
Oh no, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Let's make that move.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can even remember it.
Nah,
but
I ain't asked you to do it.
No, I know you didn't.
Okay.
That is when, like, I think it went something like, to all my Atlanta fans, if your heart truly hurts, it's time we band together and break this Atlanta sports curse. Loose my Hawks sports devil. Loose my dirty birds. I'm tired of the constant losing. The embarrassment is quite absurd. You sent Michael Vick to prison.
Come on.
And gave us 28-3. Traded Dominique for Danny Manning. Are you freaking kidding me?
Come on now.
I mean, the Braves won a couple times, but the Hawks and Falcons ain't won a thing. We even had to see the nasty, dirty, filthy, stinking Saints win a ring. How long will I feel this anguish? How long must I feel this hurt? My partner said it's because the city shut down Freaknik and Arthur Blank closed down the old folks church. So if you love the city of Atlanta
I do.
and you rep this Georgia dirt, it's time we all band together and break this Atlanta sports curse.
Oh, it's done.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
You see how we won last night, right?
Oh no, I'm here for that.
Why not us?
Come on, man. Every time. Every time.
Yeah, man. So that's some of the stuff we do, man. We do. I call them sports bars.
Yeah. See that went over my head. I thought you were talking about the real bar. I didn't know the sports bar.
We call them sports bars.
No, that's hard. That's hard, man. My God, well, fellas.
Yeah, man.
I thank y'all for having me in this thing.
It's all good.
Hit me up, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere.
Man, it's all good. All right, and for everybody watching, this is one of the multicolored waterboard shirts.
Yeah, make sure you get your merch,
that
man.
we do have in the merch collection.
Yeah.
We have the day one, which is the black, which was our first initial logo, but we have the Atlanta colors coming as well. We got the red with the black. We got the red with the white and the yellow that match the Hawks. I got this right now rocking with a Braves shirt, but we're going to put the red with it, man, and make it go all the way. Get your merchandise, please.
Hey, and I like to say, man, if you guys are liking the content that we're doing, man, please subscribe, please like, please comment. It helps us out, man. Do that now. If you see the video up here, man, click it. You're going to love it.
All right, man. Look, we up out of here.
Yes, sir.
Beehive, thank you once again.
Appreciate y'all
I done dapped
again,
you up
man.
about 100 times, but it's
fine,
all
that's
love.
fine. I'm here for
Man,
it.
so look, on behalf of myself, Trey, my partner B Rich, the one and the only Beehive, and
sir.
Aaron, whoa, Pittman, the Waterboard Show, we are out.
Kill the camera.
Let go.